Hi, I'm Tamara Bos. I have been teaching at River Springs Charter School at the Renaissance Real World Academy at the Magnolia Student Center. I really enjoy my time here at River Springs because it really challenges me as a teacher to meet the students where they're at. And we're very innovative with how we think about education and thinking outside the box and really try not to be stagnant in my teaching. I wanted to continually grow, and this place allows me to do that. With personalized learning, I think that was sort of a buzzword that years ago came around when I was teaching, and I really wasn't sure exactly like how do you personalize learning, how can you do that in your classroom. And when I started to attend the personalized learning cohort, last year actually, there was a lot of pieces that I'd already implemented into my classroom, but it really started to revolutionize what was happening in my classroom with my students when these certain pieces were coming together. And so it really started with getting to know my students. And I was doing that, but to the extent of getting them to make that connection, to them understanding with the kinds of choices they'll be making with their assignments. That bridge for it was really important for me. So they take learning style inventories at the beginning of the year, and I have them do a number of different types of learning styles. So not just what are your multiple intelligences? Are you more right brain or left brain? How do you like to learn? Where do you like to learn? And then we have a conversation about that. And it's a way to really constantly go back to what kind of learner they are, who they are, so I make those connections with them to help them make the right kinds of choices or help guide them as to the kinds of choices they're gonna make in my classroom. It is very much transitioned from me being in front of the classroom and the sage on the stage where we've seen before to transitioning to much more student-centered. And that was a difficult transition for me, but when I saw that how much it helped the students and how much they actually started to grow, I was just sold onto the way to do it. But I was really trying to figure out ways to make it work in my classroom better and better. And I think through the PL cohort, I was able to start to bring some tools together and some resources together to make it work in my classroom.
Once I get to know my kids and they begin to understand themselves, I introduce them to our personalized learning pathways. We sometimes call them PLPs. At Springs, we have developed a systematic process that helps teachers work with each student to personalize and empower instruction. This is our Mastery and Learning Wheel. This visually represents the process of learning for our students. We start by establishing the learning goal together. We make a plan for learning and begin to work that plan. Then, once the student determines she or he is ready to take their mastery, we do our assessment, whatever that may be. The students reflect on their progress and revise if necessary so they can prove their learning. Once mastery is achieved, we celebrate and begin again with the next goal.
So in the high school classroom, I've created ICANN tracking sheets in order for students to track their own mastery of ICANNs. So the ICANN tracking sheets are a snapshot of where they are in the process of learning an ICANN or mastering an ICANN. It lets a teacher, any administrator, anyone, even of course the student, know what ICANNs they have mastered and what ICANNs they still need to master. From there, we have pathways in our classroom that we use that allow students to have choice in how they're going to actually learn the ICANNs. Students are given lots of choices in how they can learn the material, but then an actual tracking sheet helps track whether they've mastered it or not, and they track it themselves. So within an ICANN pathway, I really think about not just the ICANN itself, but I look at the different ways that students might want to learn that material. Search for different resources and different textbooks and different ways for the material to be presented to really present the information that will really connect with them. And then I get feedback from my students as to if there's anything missing, anything they have suggestions on, and I build those pieces into it. So it really evolves over the years and hopefully gets better and better as the years go by.